Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Berlyan Wijaya, and now I want to explain my study. The title of my study is Educational Values Reflected in the Little Red Cap Short Stories by the Brothers Grimm and its alternative to teach reading for junior high school students. First, background of the study. There are 3 points. The first point is motivate students to learn English. It means English is one of the subjects that taught in high school. But because English is not the mother tongue of in Indonesia, the teachers will have their own challenges in teaching English. One of the challenges is to motivate students to have enthusiasm in learning English. The second is literature in ELT. Many things can be done to motivate the students to be enthusiastic about learning English. And one of the solution or one of the thing that we can do is the selection of the teaching material. The use of literary work as teaching materials can be a solution in this case. The third is educational value. The literary work used must contain educational values so that in learning process students can get its educational value and it can be applied to their life. There are my identification of the problem, formulation of the problem, and objective of the study. The formulation of the problem is the same with identification of the problem, that are how is the structure of Little Red Cap Short Stories by the Brothers Grimm? What are the intrinsic elements? What is the educational value? And how to developing lesson plan using these short stories. And the objective of the study is to describe the structure of these short stories, to describe the intrinsic elements, to describe the educational values, to develop lesson plan using these short stories. And there are theoretical framework. There are 6 theory that I discuss here. The first is literature in ELT. The second is biography of the author. The third is literature. The fourth is educational value. And then the fifth is reading. And the sixth is teaching reading. I will explain a little bit of them. Literature in ELT is there are about what is literature in ELT and why we need literature in ELT, and there are the reason why we need literature in ELT because according to Akil and Yalcin in 1990, there are to broaden the students' horizon and to improve students' general cultural awareness, to stimulate students' creativity and literary imagination, to introduce students to masterpiece in British and American literature as an educative experience. And then the biography of the author. The biography of the author, there are the Brothers Grimm is Jacob Jacob Grimm and Wilhelm Grimm. They are brother. They are siblings, and they were born in Hanau, Germany. And at first they studied to be a lawyer, but after an influence from author or novel author, the name is Ludwig Tieck, they decided to be in the to be decided to inspect the manuscript with ancient German literature and continued their research in this area until the end of their life. So they are not become a lawyer, but they are become an author. The second is the next is about literature. According to Oxford Language, literature means written work, especially in those considered of superior or lasting artistic merit. The next is educational values. So, according to Tillman 2004, the values of education can be implemented in the words of attitudes and behavior of person in social life, which specially contains 13 educational values, namely peace and appreciation, love and affection, tolerance, honesty, humility, cooperation, happiness, intelligence, freedom, unity, responsibility, and curiosity. The next is reading. Reading is one of the skills that in the learning process. Reading is process carried out and used by reader to acquire a message that is conveyed by the writer. And then teaching reading. Teaching reading is a way to encourage students to understand through the text they are read. The next is type of the research. This study is categorized into library research. The data source were taken from library collection and electronic source or the internet. And the next is subject and object of the research. The subject of the research is short story entitled Little Red Cap that was written by the Brothers Grimm. And then the object of the study, the object of the research is, in this research, the researcher focus on the educational value of the short story and developing lesson plan using short story entitled Little Red Cap that was written by the Brothers Grimm. And then the data collecting method. The data collecting method is well done through literary study to get the factual data. The data collecting will be taken by documentary, and in this research, the researcher used 3 different techniques in collecting data. They are library study, critical reading, and documentation. The last is data analyzing method. In this research, use the descriptive qualitative method. Okay, maybe that are for me, and thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.